all modern fighting games have like something really major wrong with them. Tekken is just cranked up. Street Fighter, we're hoping they can fix. I mean, they can fix it, where they can like create something new instead of having the same thing over and over again. I'd rather them mix up the game. I just want them to change it up. You don't have to like handle like all of our pet peeves about the game, but at least change up how the formula works. So the fact that they're not changing up is like scary, that it's gonna be the same game. If you keep it the same, it's like you could say it's good, quote unquote, but then it's boring. Like that's why we're all telling Capcom, like, as much as the pros whine and complain about Street Fighter, we're only saying to bring some more dynamic. Because it's like, imagine if your drive gauge, like while you're walking back, it doesn't like increase, but it stops. You're not necessarily punishing me, but you're not rewarding me for walking back and playing match safe. Something like that, I think, will try and shift it a bit. But this is one of the things where like you gotta shift up, because if you don't shift it up, then everyone's gonna be like, bro, it's the same game. That's why we're hoping season 3 is the shift. Right here's some gripes about the game that I think nearly everyone, it doesn't matter if you like the game, or you hate the game. I think these are some things that people can simultaneously agree on that are true about why the game is kind of not necessarily bad, but just boring. Because at first glance you think like, oh, you know, two pro players are fighting, is neutral obviously, like, and whatnot like that, and it's going back and forth. You know, we're poking, we're seeing, throwing out fireballs, trying to see what's happening and everything like that. One problem is, yo, why didn't you check that? It's like, yo, I checked that driver. It's just like, no, you didn't. There's no extended hurt box. There's no none like that. It could be checked. It could not be checked. You don't know. It's all in the hands of the defender. The defender, you know, if they try and check it and they're low and they lose, well, guess what? That could be your entire health bar, bro. You could have almost lost and be like, all right, fool, shake my hand. So I think checking drive rush at times is very annoying because you're trying to stop it, and there's nothing benefiting the defender in this situation of trying to check it, you know, aside from, you know, potentially killing or putting themselves in a good situation. But there's been times there's so many characters, for example, Luke, Jury, Jamie, JP, DJ, what is it, Ken, Guile, Rashid, like Bison, Akuma, all these characters, you try and check their drive rush and you could be right, or they could reel back or go super far forward. You don't know. And it's really annoying to deal with that as a player, because it almost feels as if I'm getting punished for having good reactions. I drive rush me kick with Jury and I know people are going to check it. I'm like, you got countered. And they're like, why did I get countered? Because you try to check it. That's the whole problem. You try to be good. Now look what happened. I think that's one gripe about the game. Also, I think that this one is a big one. Let's say I have a meter on my standard, right? I have this meter on standard. I do this. All right, now I'm gonna do this. And you notice how I'm walking back and I'm still gaining meter. I think this is another annoying thing, because people, like, you can mask it and say, quote unquote, it's neutral. I'm using quotation marks. What is it? Oh, very well, I have my camera on. But it's one of the things where it's quote unquote neutral, except really it's just a stall meter to do the same thing over again. It's one of those, once you go from like casual to a little bit competitive, then even more competitive, once you go down a rabbit hole, you understand that, wait a minute, this technically is neutral, but it's really just playing for the meter. Literally, I'm just gonna be like, all right, I know this is strong, low forward drive rush, because it puts you in a really messed up situation. And now they took the throw, and now they're over there. Now I can stall. I potentially get to 4 bars, maybe even 5. And I think it generally is like a big annoyance when it's kind of like you can't really do too much with characters because they're super strong just as a basic of a character, is that you can't stop them. A couple other things is like, you know, throw loops being a thing, parry being too strong. I know they nerfed parry, but it still doesn't matter. Throw loops being a thing, I know people are gonna be like, oh my god, just have a throw loop, or like chose to take the throw. I'm like, brother, problem with throw loops is the other options behind it, so hence why you take the throw. If Rashid took the throw multiple times, he's eating only what, 1200 every time. But then if I say, hey, I'm gonna call you out on button, I meet you could die from me. So it's one of the things where just like, this game just has so many annoyances. For example, like tap parry being a thing, like parry, you could work, it could not work, you don't know. I would say that Mai is the epitome of all that. Mai is really the epitome of just like, what's wrong with the game? Everything. And she is the definition of a character that shows off what's wrong with the game. It's very concerning. As a Tekken player, I definitely would say like y'all, you guys get fucked right now, 100%. But Street Fighter players, we're just bored because Mai doesn't really help flesh out the game. She just shows what's wrong with the game. Because I'll be honest, you can see all the flashy moves and all that stuff, but at the end of the day, how many times you guys are probably seeing this? You guys see just this shit. Low forward drive push into a combo. Fights a corner carry. I know what's gonna happen. He's gonna take the throw or not. And it's not necessarily something that what is it? I never wanna make it sound boring or make it sound just like fraudulent or anything like that. It's just I'm kind of at that level. Like when you see it, when you talk to people about it, it's like when you think about it, it's like, okay, maybe it is just like this. Like, I'm not trying to be all like, you know, ruining people's fun. I'm just saying from my perspective and others' perspective, like the game is good as a product, but we want to see more differences, you know? Besides how the EX fan, what is the difference between Mai and Jury? You know, both are really good in neutral, both have a DP, both have throw loop. You know, they have low forward drive rush. Sometimes you can't tell characters are like different, and that's just why we're hoping for season 3 to be like something, you know, something saucy. Because then imagine if all of a sudden Mai's EX fan got nerfed, but then they also enhancing her other EX moves, like of what she can do, maybe new combos or new ways to do stuff or something like that. It is one of the things where like we're just hoping that season 3 is going to be something interesting. I don't know when it's happening. I don't think any of us know when it's happening. We're all just waiting because they didn't want to reveal it at Kumite, which is very weird. The teaser would have been godlike. There's been no random Tuesday of an event, so the only assumption that I can think of is that Evo Japan. But if Evo Japan doesn't have it, I think we may be cooked because there's no way we're waiting for Common Breaker, like, which is the 1 year like or 2 year celebration of. I'm like, brother, you had an event beforehand, and probably Common Breaker is going to be the event before. That's just a big no. That's just stupid. I hope it doesn't happen. Like.